'cause you were born with mischief in your eyes and fire in your veins.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to part 2 of my monthly wrap-up for January. Of course, I am recording this like right after I recorded wrap-up part 1, so I might sound out of breath. I did mention at the end of my wrap-up part 1 that I needed a drink. I took a drink. Don't think it's gonna help, because I am trying to pre-record as many videos as I can today. It's the 1st of February. I just want to get them all done so that I have a little extra time this month. Last month I didn't pre-record anything and I regretted it. Because I had almost no time to do anything and it cut down on my reading a ton. So let's just get into this wrap-up, why don't we? The first book I read for this part was Night of Cake and Puppets by Laini Taylor. I think this is 2.5 of the Days of Blood and Dreams of Gods. What's the thing called? Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I kind of went like 2, 3, 1. But I had originally not planned to read this. If my library hadn't had it in ebook, I wouldn't have read this. But while this was a tiny bit boring because, like, I had read the whole trilogy by this point, and I think if I hadn't read that third book and I read this, I would have enjoyed it just that much more. It was still pretty interesting to see, like, these two characters' points of view. I can't remember their names, though, because at this point I've, like, brushed off the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series. I'm still looking forward to her new series because I do like her writing. I just didn't like the last 2 books of this series. I did not like this trilogy. I loved the first book, did not like the last 2 as much. They just bored me. This was pretty cute overall though, and I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, so hey, it wasn't an uprate. Woo. After that, I read Sapphire Blue by Kirsten Gier. This is the second book in the Precious Stone trilogy. I have finally gotten confirmation that that is what the trilogy is called. This was a little slow for me. I ended up putting it down so that I could read other books during a readathon, because I was just like, GTFO. Like, I was that bored with it at points. But, however, I did think it was an important part of the trilogy. I feel like it was definitely needed, even though it was a bit boring. And the ending ended up being really good, so I am excited to read Emerald Green. I will read it eventually. I'm just trying not to borrow library books this month. Other than the occasional library ebook, I just have so many books I need to get through on my shelves already. But I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. After that, I read probably another one of my favorite books of the month, which was Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. If you're confused by this cover, US friends, this is actually the UK cover of this. I got it off of Book Depository, and I love this. I actually like this cover more than the US cover. But this was such a cute read. I was just sucked right into it, as I am with every Rainbow Rowell book. This was the final one I needed to read of what she has published so far. But I loved the whole entire thing. The plot was definitely a bit stalkerish. Like, the guy was stalking these 2 chicks, I have to say. You wouldn't have gotten away with this shit today. And I just swore. I'm sorry. I try not to swear, but you wouldn't have gotten away with it in this day and age. It was still really good though, and it was an awesome love storyline for the time that this took place in. This took place in the early 90s, like, internet was just coming out, computers were just coming out, so yeah, I mean, it was different. And I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars, as I do with pretty much every Rainbow Rowell book. She is up there as queen just as much as Leigh Bardugo. Seriously. Actually, that was the argument I made with my mom to get this and Fangirl from Book Depository, because I bought these, like, the week after Christmas. Was, Mom, she's queen, I need these, I need to complete my Rainbow Rowell collection. Still have to get Carry On. And I am just talkative today. After that, I read Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi. This has been on my TBR for a while, and then I found it on Book Outlet, but then also at the same time I discovered that she's Ransom Riggs' wife. And I'm like, oh my god, I love Ransom Riggs. I need to read his wife's work, like, now. So I got it, and I don't regret it. This was definitely, like, my other absolute favorite book of the month. I did say that in my January favorites video. I was just sucked right in. I barely put it down. I, like, literally only put this down to eat. If I had to. And go to the washroom. But I just loved everything about this book. It's such an amazing book. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And after that, I immediately jumped into Unravel Me by Tahereh Mafi. Because I had Shatter Me coming, I decided to purchase this on Barnes & Noble because I had extra money I needed to get my cart to $25, so I picked it up. And just like Shatter Me, I was completely sucked in. I was kept sucked in. Like I said, I only put it down to eat and use the washroom. I hated doing so. These are amazing books. I loved every bit of this one too. I am definitely going to be reading Ignite Me. If I don't end up buying it, I will be borrowing it from the library to read it and then buying myself a physical copy as soon as possible. Like, it probably will be top read in March if I don't get to it this month because I have so many other books I need to get through. But I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. And I know for a fact that my library Overdrive has Ignite Me and the 2 novellas, so woo, I can read them and then worry about purchasing them later. I will purchase them though because they gotta look good on my shelves. After that, I read the BuzzBooks Spring Summer 2016 YA Sampler. This is a collection of excerpts from YA books that are being released through June, I think, July. And thanks to the sampler, I actually discovered 8 different books that I am looking forward to coming up these next 2 seasons. But yeah, I really want to read like 8 different books that I found on here. Maybe at some point I will do a video saying that or something. I think I'm probably going to end up doing a 2016 releases video sometime in March. Because I never did one. And a lot of my books actually come out towards like right after March, so I think I will still do it. But I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because these are so helpful. I get these on NetGalley and they're just probably one of the best things ever because I discovered so many books. Yeah. After that, I read Halfway Dead by Terry Maggart. I was introduced to this series by Terry himself. He had tweeted me, I've said this before, he tweeted me asking me if I wanted to read the sequel to review, you know, have a copy of an arc and review it. So I said of course, and I told him, you know, I hadn't read the first one, but I had looked it up on Kindle, and it happened to be in Kindle Unlimited, so I grabbed it. This is the first book in the Halfway Witchy series. Overall, I really enjoyed this. I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, and my full blog review for this will be linked down below. because I want you to go read the review. I want you guys to go look at this book. This is an amazing book. This series is amazing. After that, I read Soundless by Richelle Mead, and I see what everyone was saying about this book. I like to form my own opinion. For once, to me, for once, I should have just gone with everyone else and not read this book, in my opinion. I was just quite disappointed with this book. It had such an amazing premise, but it just wasn't there. There was absolutely no world building, in my opinion. There was no character development. It's just, there wasn't anything going for it. This really, to me, seemed like Richelle Mead said, oh hey, I'm gonna write this really crappy book that has a good premise because then everyone will go buy it and I'll get more money. I'm sorry, I hate to say that about an author, but she has written some amazing books, and then there's this. I don't know. But I only gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't, it was, ugh. After that, I read A Hunger Like No Other by Kresley Cole. I borrowed this from Brittany. She had highly suggested this series to me. But this one was not good. It was way too sex-driven for me. I mean, I get that it's a romance series, but it's a paranormal romance. You expect action, you expect actual plot. I read Sherilyn Kenyon. Sherilyn Kenyon is some of the best paranormal romance I have ever read. She has plot in it. There is sexy times, but there's not too much. This book, pretty much the first 2/3 of the book, was all about the sex. I did not like it. What plot there was towards the end was good, though. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. Brittany has said that the series gets better, that this is definitely the suckiest of them, so I told her eventually I will borrow the second one from her, just not right now. And the final book I read was Halfway Bitten by Terry Maggart. This is, of course, the sequel to Halfway Dead. Again, I will link my full review down below. This is going up on Friday, my wrap-up part 2, so by the time you're seeing this, my video review will already be up, as well as my blog post, so I will link both of those down below for you guys. But overall, I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. I am sorry that I blabbered on way too much, but I had a lot to talk about this month. So, if you enjoyed this video, give it a huge thumbs up, and I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye, everyone.
'Cause you were born with mischief in your eyes.